right now, live at 5, how federal support could be coming to local nonprofits at a time when their help is needed by so many.
Tension between Minnesota landlords and renters during the COVID-19 pandemic. What you need to know.
Plus, from farmers to families, that's the goal of a new food program launched by the Trump administration today. And later, why some travelers say they're unlikely to fly even after travel restrictions are lifted.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Welcome to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Duluth's City Hall. We're learning more about how COVID-19 is impacting renters across the state and right here at home. Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. The Minnesota Attorney General's office is investigating more than 500 complaints from renters all across the state.
Many claim their landlord is violating the state's laws during the COVID-19 pandemic. That law is known as the eviction moratorium, and it halts evictions for renters who can prove they've been impacted by COVID-19.
CBS3's Leanne Valdez spoke to the state's Attorney General, who says the majority of the complaints come from outside of the Twin Cities.
Attorney General Keith Ellison couldn't say if any of the complaints came from the Duluth area, but he did say some of them have come from Pine and Meeker County, specifically in Sandstone. Ellison also says there are about 5 to 6 cases that had to be brought to court in an effort to stop the landlord from taking actions that violate the eviction moratorium. He also says a lot of these cases were surrounding landlords threatening to shut off renters' water or utilities if they didn't pay. Ellison says one case actually stemmed from a Florida landlord who owned property in Minnesota. Others come from manufactured housing or what some call mobile homes. In all, Ellison says he understands the frustration landlord and renters are facing during this time.
If you're a landlord who wants information about what's required of you, please call us as well. We want to help you. We don't want to put the landlords in a bad spot. It's just our whole society is in a bad spot.
Ellison goes on to say if you are a landlord or a renter that needs help, to give a call to their office. We'll have that number listed on our website.
Thanks, Leanne. And coming up tonight at 6, we'll have more information for renters and landlords who are struggling right now.
Northland nonprofits could be getting federal support thanks to a new bill backed by U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. The Work Now Act is focused on supporting small nonprofits through the COVID-19 pandemic. The bill would create grants and help nonprofits maintain their workforce during a time when their services are in high demand.
If history teaches us anything, it's that you need support for people in times like this. Government's job is supposed to be to keep people safe. And a lot of work wasn't done early on to make sure that the testing was ready and that we were taking this on as a federal government. And now we need to do the work.
Senator Klobuchar says she's confident this bill will have bipartisan support. That's not the only thing Senator Klobuchar is working on. Today she announced Minnesota organizations supporting domestic violence victims are getting a big boost in funding. The $670,000 comes from the Family Violence Prevention Services. Klobuchar says the money can be used for temporary funding, counseling, and other services. According to her office, domestic violence calls across the state have increased during the COVID-19 pandemic. Rape crisis centers have also seen an increase for needed services.
The state of Wisconsin is spending $1 billion in the ongoing battle against COVID-19. The money comes from the Federal CARES Act. $260 million is going towards testing, with another $75 million going to contact tracing. The state is trying to test 85,000 people per week for free. They're also providing funding for local and tribal health departments to hire staff focused on tracing the spread of the virus. Other funding is going to buy protective gear, ventilators, and hospital support.
President Trump is back at the White House holding a meeting with his cabinet after traveling to Capitol Hill to meet with Republicans earlier today. Natalie Brand is at the White House with the latest.
After meeting with Senate Republicans on Capitol Hill, the president again defended his use of the controversial drug hydroxychloroquine, which he says his White House physician approved.
I think it gives you an additional level of safety. but you can ask many doctors are in favor of it. This is an individual decision to make.
Earlier, the president welcomed farmers to the White House, where he announced a multi-billion-dollar plan to give direct relief to agricultural suppliers hit by the pandemic. The administration also wants to purchase food to restock food banks.
Sign-ups will begin on May 26th through your local Farm Service Agency offices. You got to go sign up to pick it up, to get the money. It's already in distribution, $3 billion worth of product for the food lines.
The president has also sent a scathing 4-page letter to the World Health Organization, threatening to permanently freeze its funding unless the agency commits to major changes in the next 30 days.
They have to be much more fair to other countries, including the United States, or we're not going to be involved with them anymore. We'll do it a separate way.
The WHO's Director General agreed to undertake an independent review, though some officials within the organization caution against conducting a forensic examination in the middle of a pandemic. Meanwhile, during a remote hearing, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell gave the Senate Banking Committee an update on federal relief programs.
What Congress has done to date has been remarkably timely and forceful. I think you could say the same about what we've done. I do think we need to take a step back and ask, over time, is it enough?
I think the job numbers will get worse before they get better. So I just want to be very clear that I think that June will be a very difficult quarter.
The Treasury Secretary says the federal government has distributed nearly $1 trillion of relief aid, which is about a third of what's been approved by Congress so far.
Vice President Mike Pence says he is not taking the anti-malaria drug hydroxychloroquine. The FDA has issued warnings against taking the drug for the coronavirus unless hospitalized under strict doctor supervision.
Here's a look at the number of cases in our tri-state area. Starting in Minnesota, there are 650 new cases, 4,700 active, and 17 new deaths. In Wisconsin, there are 200 new cases, 5,600 active, and 8 new deaths. And in Michigan, there are more than 400 new cases with 19,000 active and 102 new deaths. Worldwide, there are now about 5 million cases, 323,000 deaths, and almost 2 million recoveries. And we'll check in on the weather now. Dave, the winds seem to die down quite a bit. It's sunny out there as well today.
And of course, that makes it too dry, especially for the interior parts of Minnesota where fire danger is near critical. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But right now, let's get a live look at that new bridge outside Virginia overlooking the Richelieu pit. And I'm old enough to remember when that pit was dry at the bottom and they were still mining it. Time marches on. Well, the sky above the pit is beautiful today here. On the grayer side for some towns as moisture gets trapped aloft in stable high pressure. But it's just a harmless deck of stratus. It won't kick up any rain, so we'll stay dry probably through Thursday. Friday, maybe that low pressure system, a very weak upper level one, will come to call and bring us our next rain chance. But from now until then, not Tuesday, Wednesday, the day planner there for tomorrow says it'll start mostly cloudy, then become partly cloudy. High temp may hit 70 degrees. Even here over the hill in Duluth. Still cooler by the lake, but 80 not out of the question inland. And we'll talk about how long temps like this will last in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, a charity supporting veterans in Grand Rapids gets a generous donation. Plus, the annual Memorial Day ceremony will go on in Ely. City by City is up next.
Plus, coming up tonight at 6, a potential asphalt plant in the early stages of being built near Proctor, and it's already meeting opposition from residents.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, Local, CBS3.
The Garage, it's your space. Get a garage fit for all of your agricultural needs with our Farmer 40x40 garage. Store all the equipment needed to get the job done. No matter what you put in your space, trust us to build it right. Economy Garages. Built right, priced right.
Purdy Lawn Service, offering mowing, fertilizing, aerating, landscaping, and snow removal in the Duluth Superior area. Call 218-341-9860 for free estimates and visit us on Facebook. Purdy Lawn Service, unbeatable quality and service. Now hiring seasonal and full-time employees.
At Play It Again Sports, we have the largest selection of new and used hockey equipment in the area, along with a huge selection of hockey sticks, apparel, and cross-country skis.
Trade in, trade up, and save.
At Super One Foods, we're always looking for new talent to join our 5-star service team. We are a growing family-owned company that provides opportunities to learn new skills and enhance your working knowledge while serving your friends and neighbors. From flexible scheduling and variety in jobs to competitive wages and exceptional benefits, Super One Foods offers an excellent environment to grow both personally and professionally and can provide you with the foundation for career advancement in the communities we serve. Come join our team. Super One Foods. Jobs right in your neighborhood.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
When a crisis strikes, cash is the best form of relief. It can easily be transformed into health services, water, food, or clothes. Cash can travel everywhere and aid people all around the world. Donate. Smart. Fast. Donate cash.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over Lake Superior. Dave will be in with your full weather forecast in just a few minutes. But first, let's see what's going on across the rest of the region.
Memorial Day is still on for residents in Ely, plus an area charity is getting a generous donation in Grand Rapids. That and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. In Grand Rapids, the nonprofit Pike for Vets has been awarded a $1,200 grant through the Grand Rapids Area Community Foundation. Pike for Vets is an organization that provides fish fry dinners for area veterans through donations made by anglers and local fishing tournaments. They also assist the Veterans on the Water organization, which provides fishing trips to veterans of all ages. In Ely, the community is still planning to hold its annual Memorial Day celebration, but with some changes this year. One of the big changes being made is to the city's ceremony at the cemetery. The ceremony will go on, but guests are asked to attend from their vehicles with their windows rolled down. Now to Spooner, Wisconsin, where the area rodeo has been canceled due to COVID-19. The rodeo, which has been an annual function since 1954, would have been in its 67th year. The announcement was made via the rodeo's Facebook page. It is set to resume in summer of 2021. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, go ahead, send us an email, and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city.
Still to come on Live at 5, how COVID-19 is impacting air travel as the economy slowly begins to reopen across the country.
This live look eyes up the sky near the Hibbing-Chisholm area, and it's a mixed bag out there. A little bit of cloud, a little bit of blue. It'll likely stay that way till Friday when it gets a little bit grayer and perhaps a little more rainy. We need it. We'll talk about it coming up after our break.
For the news that impacts you most, turn to live local CBS 3.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m.
While a lot is changing in our world, at MediaCom, our focus remains the same, making sure you have the fastest, most reliable connection possible. During this critical time, we know your needs are changing. You may be working or learning from home, relying on telemedicine, or finding new ways to keep everyone entertained. At MediaCom, we're here for you. We're taking appointments, and with speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig, we can more than meet your needs. Contact us today to learn more.
Here at the Colorado Group, the health and well-being of our customers and employees is our top priority. Kohler has been privileged to serve this community for over 50 years. Our sales, service, and parts departments are open to serve you by appointment in order to provide a safe and healthy dealership visit. If you cannot make it to us, we will gladly come to you with a non-contact shopping or service experience. Please visit Colorado.com to set up your appointment today at any one of our family-owned dealerships.
When news happens, CBS3 is there.
We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night, more cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Do not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies sterilizer equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS3. When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS3 Duluth.
For the news that impacts you most, turn to live local CBS 3.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m. CBS3 Weather is brought to you by Economy Garages. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Yeah, around the entire area, we're facing fire dangers that go from moderate from some parts in Wisconsin to high for the rest of the region, and extremely high, near critical for inland parts of northern Minnesota, including both the Vermilion and Mesabi Iron Range and borderland and points to the west. What we need to solve the problem, of course, is a good soaking rain, and with 3 days worth of rain coming around for the weekend, maybe we'll get it then. But from now until then, of course, we've got to be careful out there in the woods with fires and cigarette butts and all of that stuff. Current conditions at the airport, well, it's sunny and the relative humidity is only 35%, so that's a couple of aggravating factors. And though in Tony's neck of the woods the winds did slack off, for many of us it's still picking up towards 18 miles per hour, at least at the airport in Duluth, so that's helping dry things out and keeping that fire danger up. Again, hopefully Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Memorial Day, we'll get that rain chance coming around. Here's what we're getting right now. Well, just like yesterday, it's pretty toasty inland, and then there's a medium zone fairly close to the lake and a cool zone right by it. So what we get at is 79 right now, International Falls, but only 69 in Hibbing, 64 for Proctor, down to 49 degrees in Superior. So there's our range, our three-tier system. 74 right now in Hayward and 71 in Watersmeet. Tomorrow, places like International Falls, yeah, could get towards 80 once again. Very similar regime coming around at least through tomorrow, probably through Thursday. Maybe it'll change up Friday when it gets a little cloudier and a little bit rainier. But right now, higher pressure and control has made things dry, if not perfectly clear. Again, there's a stratus deck around the Twin Ports at times. Stratus clouds love to form up in the stability of a high pressure system, and it'll take a low pressure system really to chase them away, or for evaporation to eat up those clouds. And both of those counts may come our way tomorrow and help get rid of that deck just in case your town sees it. Otherwise, pretty dry around our area right now, and likely will stay dry, if not overly sunny, at least through tomorrow morning, until Friday or so. But then Friday does come, and this low pressure system, a fairly weak upper level low pressure system, comes around, bringing us 30 to 50% chances for thunderstorms, like I mentioned, from Friday night in through perhaps Monday morning. Forecast tonight, temperature-wise in Minnesota, we're looking for things to go, I'm thinking pretty warm. 40 by the lake, and then 43 to 50 inland, 50 degrees. Yeah, International Falls will be on the warmer side. Mostly cloudy sky again because of those stratus clouds trying to form up in that stable air layer. Low temps in Wisconsin, Michigan should go about 45 to 50. And then for tomorrow, 72 to 78 degrees for Wisconsin and the UP, with a clear to partly cloudy sky building back in as the day progresses. So it could start cloudy tomorrow morning and then get clearer as the day goes on. Tomorrow in Minnesota, there's the three-tier system again. 50s right by the lake, 60s up over the hill, 70s towards 80 farther inland. Extended forecast, well, focusing at the head of the lakes here, we're looking at low to maybe mid-70s. Again, keep in mind, right by the lake, it'll be cooler, and farther inland, it'll be warmer. Sunny through Thursday. Then the rain chances come Friday through Monday. It's only a 30% chance for the showers and storms on Memorial Day, so following the guidelines, hopefully folks can get out and pay tribute to those who have fallen.
Thanks, Dave. Many Americans say they are unlikely to fly even after restrictions are lifted, according to a recent survey. But airlines say they're working to lower the risk of people getting sick while traveling. Chris Van Cleve got a rare behind-the-scenes look at what United Airlines is doing.
We're on our way back to Denver.
The friendly skies that United flight attendant Nick Engen knew have turned turbulent.
What we're doing is giving them water for clean beverages, sodas, no cups for life.
He's documenting the new normal of flying for his video blog, Non-Rev Nick, including his now standard pre-flight temperature check.
Good. Cool. Thank you.
Arriving at Washington Dulles, flyers find a much emptier terminal, fewer kiosks, plexiglass shields,
thanks,
reminders to distance, and stepped-up cleaning. Online outrage over this crowded flight prompted United to launch a new social distancing policy this week, alerting passengers if they're on a flight with 70% or more of the seats sold. The vast majority are less than half full.
Everyone has a different sense of what is considered uncomfortable. We are inventing a playbook for cleaning and keeping things safe every day.
Before boarding, a team of cleaners go row by row, wiping down seats, tray tables, knobs, anything people might touch. Then the plane is disinfected using an electrostatic fogger, also used in hospitals. It sprays a mist that kills viruses and bacteria. By June, United plans to be doing this fogging between every flight on every plane. How does fresh air get into the plane?
Through these inlets.
Maintenance Managing Director Jim Hammer says cabin air is constantly refreshed during flight and run through a hospital-grade HEPA filter like this that strips out bacteria and viruses. Linda Bowen and her family are waiting to board a flight to Chicago after her mother passed away. She admits she's a little nervous.
If there was going to be too many people around, not practicing the social distancing, not wearing masks, but I found that most are.
Hey, how are you? Gone is boarding by group number. Now flights are boarding back to front. As passengers get on, they're handed sanitizing wipes. The airlines say they need about 70% of the seats full to be profitable. Right now, they say they're averaging just 31 passengers per domestic flight, but their numbers are trending up. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Reagan National Airport, Virginia.
All right, well, let's talk about today's adoptable pet in our region. Today's pet comes to us from the Precious Paws Humane Society in Chisholm. Meet Panda. He's a black and white rescue with an outgoing and friendly personality. You can probably guess that he gets his name from that black and white coloring of his fur. He can be pretty chatty and loves when his humans talk to him. Panda also loves to be brushed. He also loves to climb on top of his cat tree. Panda is available for adoption, but will need to be neutered, microchipped, and vaccinated. If you want to adopt him, you can call the number on your screen. Still to come, the YMCA Camp Miller's summer camp is still set to happen this year, but with some changes to how it operates.
My name is Dan Metcalf. I'm a general surgeon and a colorectal surgeon at Memorial Medical Center. I bring a new set of skills to Ashland, and some of what Ashland would allow me is a culture that is very patient-centered. That's a really important part of surgery or medicine in general, is really getting to know the people that you're taking care of. I get the joy of seeing patients every day and taking care of people every day and learning about their lives as well as fixing them.
Injured? Call Stockman Law Office. Automobile collision injuries involving taxis, Ubers, Lyfts, buses, semis, and motorcycles. Call anytime, 218-576-8599. No recovery, no fee. Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries, serious law.
The community colleges of northeastern Minnesota want you to know that as we work together, our #1 priority is to create an exceptional educational experience that puts the student first. Whether you are finishing up a degree or opting to start a new career, summer is the perfect opportunity to take a course. During these uncertain times, we all stand together. Register today to join one of our online summer classes.
The Sunday night movies are back on CBS.
Are you serious? Yes.
And not just any movies.
I'm the king of the world!
Paramount's biggest. Grab the popcorn, sit down, and escape from reality blockbusters. So how about we all watch a great movie?
Sandy!
Together. The CBS Sunday night movies are back on CBS.
Dude! You gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
who has the experience and years that Dave has.
He's an Ely guy, he's local, he's been here.
His experience, that's something that's really special to CBS3.
He's just like this bastion of knowledge. He remembers everything.
Get to know Dave Anderson weekday nights on Live Local CBS3.
And when we get back, are people going to have money? And I think people are going to be raring to do something.
It really just kind of came to a screeching halt.
Another industry feeling big impacts from the COVID-19 pandemic, Duluth's local arts community. From live theater to musicians to photographers, I'm taking a closer look at how their daily lives have changed and how these artists are working to recover.
Surviving the Intermission, Friday at 10.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Several Duluth organizations announced a plan today aimed at boosting the local economy. The program is called Strong Northland. People can buy $20 vouchers, which work like gift cards at any of the 40 businesses taking part. Any money made through the program goes right back into the local business's pocket. The goal is to pump some money back into our local economy. Restaurant officials say it's time for businesses to come together.
I've always said competition makes you better, but collaboration will sustain you. There is no time in my life that I've ever experienced such a need for us to be together.
The program has already raised $20,000. We have more information on our website.
For a Sturgeon Lake camp, making changes based on a pandemic is nothing new. The YMCA's Camp Miller has been running for 120 years, adapting to both the Spanish flu and now COVID-19. While the camp will still have summertime favorites like boating, swimming, and archery, there will be some changes to how they operate this year. Instead of parents dropping their kids off for overnight camping, Camp Miller will be operating as a day camp and what they're calling a family camp. Each week, Camp Miller will welcome 4 families of 10 people or less for activities. Sarah Etter, executive director, says the camp will have special protocols in place even for people from the same family.
So we're going to assign paddles to your family, life jackets to your family, so that usually we share everything at camp, but this year we know that that's not going to be our best practice. So each family is going to have their own equipment to use and times where they're assigned to use different spaces. So it'll be camp, but a little bit different.
Camp Miller's staff will arrive on site 14 days before camp starts to isolate themselves before campers show up. Staff members will also take their temperatures every single day. Day camp starts on June 15th, while family camp begins July 1st. We have more information on our website, CBS3Duluth.com.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, the Treasury Secretary warns of permanent damage if a lockdown continues. And Michael Phelps speaks out about his mental health struggles during the pandemic. Plus, our exclusive interview with Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, a new feature for small businesses on the social media platform and the tech company's role in stopping misinformation. And we're going to end tonight with a teacher who won't let COVID-19 stop her from finishing the school year. That's all tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
When we all get to the other side of this crisis, we look forward to presenting our music performances, our theater productions, and our art exhibitions. Because without our audiences and our UMD houses, we're without the magic of your live reactions. That includes laughing, crying, gasping, smiling, frowning, and applauding. UMD Fine Arts can't wait to see you soon, live and in person.
At UCare, we've been decomplicating Medicare plans in Minnesota for a long time. In fact, we've been offering Medicare Advantage plans longer than anyone else. Our Medicare Advantage plans are affordable, and 96% of Minnesota providers accept UCare. So if your provider practices at any of these clinics or hospitals, you can likely keep them. To learn the basics and see how UCare Medicare Advantage plans compare to others, visit ucare.org/TV.
For the news that impacts you most, turn to Live Local CBS3.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
Tension between Minnesota landlords and renters during the COVID-19 pandemic. What you need to know.
fire danger for Minnesota remains near critical. When will we get our next rain?
Tonight at 6 on CBS3.
We are strong and we'll get through this together, but these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS3 Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over Lake Avenue. Let's take a quick look at today's top stories and a peek at what's coming up tonight at 6. The Minnesota Attorney General's office is investigating more than 500 complaints from renters all across the state. Many claim their landlord is violating the state's laws during the COVID-19 pandemic. That law is known as the eviction moratorium. It halts evictions for renters who can prove they were impacted by the crisis. Attorney General Keith Ellison couldn't say specifically if there are any complaints in the Duluth area that his office has handled, but some have come from Meeker and Pine County, including Sandstone.
And coming up tonight at 6, drama in Rice Lake, with community members upset over a possible asphalt plant moving into their residential area. At tonight's City Council meeting, the company who owns the plant is asking the Planning Commission for approval. Coming up tonight, we'll get reaction from members of the community. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is up next.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 6.